This is going to be very interesting. Today I'm talking about number domain names, but these are not just your usual domain names. These are 4numbers.com domain names. Now, the first one is 3435.com and the other one is 5383.com. Both of them are in GoDaddy's auction, as you can see. Now look at the prices, the estimated value and the current bid. And over here, look at the estimated price, estimated value, and look at the current bid going on. Both of them are same, but what's wrong? There are only 10,000 possible 4-digit .com domain names combination, from 0000.com all the way to 9999.com. So no more ever can be created. This alone thing, creates a surge. So the scarcity alone gives them a long-term value. The scarcity isn't only the thing that is driving its value. Now, as I've always talked about this, I'm going to say this again. Imagine you're walking into a room full of all these, entrepreneurs and businessmen and business owners. You go and tell them, what, I owe 3435.com. It's going to make a hell lot of difference. Now, this is why these types of domain names come into play. They are memorable. They are like an asset. Not much people you will find in today's world will owe such names. When you have these types of names under your belt, having them as a business name, people will actually find it very unique. If anyone comes and tells me I owe this 3435.com, I am gonna check because it's unique. I don't hear such numeric domain names every time. So if you're talking about how these types of domain names derive their values, the first is memorability, and the second, that is actually one of the main reasons that people buy such names, is because they don't hold any language barrier. Numeric domain names don't have to depend on language because numeric domain names are universal. It's simple as that. So numeric domain names often have cultural meanings to it, lucky numbers. There are so many things, and even country codes. So there can be numerous things that can be the reason why people tend to buy such names. But no matter what business it gets involved into, people are gonna find it unique. People are gonna find it very rare. So when these types of domain names, I'm talking about both of them, when they land up in auctions, okay, the buyers will go crazy. Look at this now. 45 bids, okay, 25 bidders are fighting for 5383 and 3435 also. You see 99 bids, and there are only 15 bidders here that are just going crazy. Look at this, only 20 hours left for this domain name, and let me check the other one, 19 hours left for that. Now, if you talk about why this domain name is actually getting more bids than the other one, there can be a lot of reasons, okay, for that. Now, when it comes to these types of numeric domain names, their aesthetics play a big role. You won't believe this, but it does. If you talk about me, I would say 3435 is visibly more appealing to me than 5383. There can be countless reasons, but this is what I can say. And obviously, I told you about the lucky numbers, the cultural meaning. It can also be. Now, both of these domain names can be used in no matter what. They have endless possibilities. Now, if you talk about the other 4-letter .coms, even they are getting to a point where you have to pay a good amount of price to acquire them. 3 letters, very rare, ultra rare to find, and if you find it, you gotta pay a big price. These types of numeric domain names are also getting valued at the same level, I would say, in the present market scenario. Repetition, plays a big role when it comes to numeric names. So at the end, not every domain name is created equally. Some of them will hold a value for the people, some of them will hold lesser value. But the bids and the auctions tells us the real story, what it is going on in the mind of a buyer.